10 graphic design hacks that you can learn right now. And you'll wonder how you ever manage to work as a designer without these hacks. Random spacing can make designs look amateur and, well, basic. A structured spacing system ensures alignment and consistency on your work, so you can follow the 4-8-16 rule as an example. So we have 4 pixels for small elements like icons, buttons, and text padding, 8 pixels for moderate gaps between sections or UI elements, and 16 pixels for larger spacing, ensuring visual breathing room. This system is widely used in modern UI UX frameworks and makes layouts feel intentional and organized. Now it improves legibility, usability, and overall aesthetics, making any design look instantly more professional. And the important aspect of this rule is that it falls into multiples of fours, and that in turn makes it look aesthetically appealing. If your design feels flat and lifeless, adding foreground elements can actually instantly introduce depth. One effective method is placing a blurry shape, light, or object in the foreground, slightly out of focus, and you've probably seen this before. And this works especially well for posters, social media graphics, website hero sections, and even ad banners. The blurred object creates a cinematic kind of effect, drawing the viewer's eye towards the main subject while adding a sense of dimension. And as a creative, you will have a lot of fun experimenting with different blurs, different opacities to achieve this effect. So continuing in the world of blurring, flat backgrounds can make a design look or feel uninspired and just kind of meh. Instead of using solid colors, take a high quality image, apply a Gaussian blur, maybe 10 to 20 pixel radius, and increase brightness ever so slightly. This technique is particularly useful for login screens, hero sections, mobile apps, and dashboard UIs, but of course can work on print design too. The blurred background creates a sleek, modern effect while keeping the focus on the foreground content like text and buttons. And by adjusting contrast and saturation, you can match the background to a color scheme, perhaps your client's branding, and this would ensure cohesion and readability. So this is a simple way to add sophistication without any clutter, and it's really quick to do as well. But it goes a lot further than that. You can work with blurred backgrounds or images like this to emphasize certain objects or assets, and this would in turn basically create a visual hierarchy. A cluttered design can overwhelm viewers pretty easily, but to create clear visual hierarchy, we can use the 1-2-3 rule. So the biggest elements are the most important, so like messages, headlines, product images, stuff like that. Medium-sized elements are your supporting text or additional content. And the smallest elements are background details, links, or critical information. But also sometimes CTAs, but these are often very different in color or shape to everything else. Now this ensures that the user actually processes the content within 3 seconds, thus improving the engagement. Used in advertising, landing pages, social media graphics, and packaging, this method makes sure your message is seen, understood, and acted upon quickly, which as a designer should be one of your main focuses. You know, one of the toughest things about being a graphic designer isn't just learning and picking up new tools, it's actually learning to think like a designer. Whether it's color theory, layout, or UI UX design, there's always more to master. And in my own personal journey, I found that having structured learning from industry experts can actually fast track that process in ways that trial and error just simply cannot do. And one platform that perfectly delivers this is SimpliLearn. And that's because they offer high quality, industry recognized bootcamps designed by top universities and real world professionals. This makes it easier to bridge the gap between learning and applying design in the real world. And for example, their UI UX design bootcamp doesn't just cover theory. Instead, it's project-based learning, meaning you'll work on real-world case studies, interactive assignments, and even build a portfolio of work that you can actually use to get hired or advance your career. The course walks you through everything from user research and wireframing to high-fidelity prototyping and usability testing. So you're not just watching videos to try and learn. You're actually practicing and refining your skills with expert feedback. Now, one thing I really appreciate is how the courses are structured in a flexible way. So it doesn't matter if you intend to learn part-time or you're really going to hit it hard and learn full-time. You can really learn at your own pace, which is important. And if cost is a concern, SimpliLearn offers financing options like installment plans, so you don't have to pay everything up front. And if you're serious about growing as a designer, this is worth checking out. Now, I've put a special link in the description of the video and also a pinned comment so you can explore the programs on SimpliLearn. And a big thanks to SimpliLearn for supporting the design community and for sponsoring today's video. Manually adjusting social media graphics for different platforms can be tedious. Instead, try using automated tools. In Figma, use auto layouts plus components to create dynamic, resizable designs. And in Canva, you can use the magic resize option to instantly generate multiple different versions. And in Photoshop, set up artboard templates with predefined sizes for Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, or any other social media platforms. You'll find that this workflow saves literally countless hours because you don't need to waste time cropping and making adjustments to your designs. It's especially useful for marketing campaigns, brand promotions, and content creators who need consistency across all platforms. When working with large, complex files, managing layers can become a messy situation pretty fast. Instead of endlessly searching through unnamed layers, try using color coding instead. So maybe red for text layers, blue for background layers, and green for icons and graphics, just as an example. This is especially helpful for branding projects, UI kits, and detailed illustrations, and it helps keep your files organized and easy to navigate. Assigning these colors would improve your workflow efficiency by reducing the time spent searching for different elements. Plus, as a nice, sweet little bonus, your clients or your colleagues will literally love you for this. Now, shadows can make or break a design. Default black often looks harsh and unnatural. Instead, use a 30% black, so 4D, 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 or RGB 7777, and then set it to multiply mode or something similar at a 30 to 50% opacity. This results in soft, realistic shadows that blend seamlessly into the background. And this technique is perfect for product mockups, illustrations, and UI components, and it ensures depth without overpowering the composition. It is often these small tweaks and small details that mount up on a design and do make a huge difference. Textures can sometimes feel too harsh or overpowering, and this makes the design look cluttered. Instead of applying textures in normal mode, switch to overlay or soft light in Photoshop or Illustrator. These blending modes allow textures to interact more naturally with the underlying layers, creating a subtle balanced effect. And adjusting the opacity can further refine the look, ensuring the texture enhances rather than dominates. And this technique works well for posters, backgrounds, branding, product mockups, and so much more by just giving depth and more organic, high-end feels. In day-to-day life, design should be accessible to all users, even people who have color blindness. Over-sharpening can create an artificial, noisy look. A cleaner approach is using a high-pass sharpening. So first, duplicate your image. Then apply filter, other, and high pass. And in most cases, you want to set this to a radius of between 5 and 10. Now change the blending mode to overlay or soft light and adjust the opacity. This enhances clarity and sharpness without distorting the details, making it ideal for product photography, digital art, and marketing visuals. In Photoshop, go to View, Proof Setup, Color Blindness, and this will allow you to see how your design appears to colorblind viewers. Adjust contrast and saturation as needed to meet WCAG accessibility standards if your brief or project does really call for this. And it is crucial for UI and UX designers, branding projects, and web designers because it ensures the text elements remain legible for wider audiences. A small tweak can dramatically improve user experience without sacrificing so much aesthetics. And if you really want to learn some more valuable skills as a graphic designer, just click that video on screen. But until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.